What's happening, everyone? My name is Adrian and welcome back to another episode of What the Pun. Hope you've all been good and great. I know the videos haven't been consistent, haven't been posting as regular as I used to, but I promise you I do have a good reason for that. I will tell you as to why, probably in a video later on anyways. But in regards to today's video, we'll be looking at or revisiting a car that we've looked at in a video, say about start of 2021. Yeah, start of 2021 we looked at this particular type of vehicle, and since then the owner has upgraded to a newer version of that particular car, later generation. And yeah, so what is it? Basically the car is this. It's a 2016 Range Rover Sport. It's the 3-litre diesel version with 306 brake horsepower, and the last time we visited a vehicle like this, it was the 2011, also a Range Rover Sport, also a 3-litre diesel, but it was at about just under 250 brake horsepower. So yeah, since then the difference between that 2011 and this one, it's had a bit of a massive facelift and a bit of a performance upgrade. So why did the owner decide to go for a newer model? Well, not only because they are a bit of a fan of the Range Rover line, but more because a lot has changed in and around the area we live, basically, especially if you're in the area where near myself, or basically what I'm trying to get at is the Mayor of London. Basically, he's drawn a massive circle around London, and it's like, if your vehicle has certain emissions, then you got to pay to keep your vehicle or drive your vehicle into my circle. But funny enough, if your car is of a certain age, you can get away with it. So for example, like a classic Lamborghini with a big engine, you're okay. But if you have like an older Range Rover Sports that has, I think it's Euro 5, yeah, a diesel Euro 5, you're not good. You got to pay to keep your car within here, the London Mayor of London circle. But the later versions, like this one, the 2016, is a Euro 6, so you're okay to keep your vehicle within the Mayor of London circle. And price difference, that's the thing. Price difference between like one that is ULEZ compliant and one that is not. Minimum, a ULEZ compliant version of this particular car, you're looking at about £16,000, and a non-ULEZ compliant version, you're looking from like that'll be a very good example, to be fair. That will be roughly about £12,000 for a good example of a Range Rover that's non-ULEZ compliant. But yeah, so basically today I'll be having a quick drive around with the car and going over like the good things I like about this particular car and some of the bad stuff, basically. So yeah, let's have a look, shall we? Alright, so we are in this Range Rover Sport now, and what is it like? What's it like? How different is it from the one I tested previously? And in typical UK fashion, it's raining. It's raining. Like if I did this part of the video a few days before, would have been fine. The weather would have been lovely. But it's in these kind of conditions, wet, like most parts of the roads in the UK now, they're flooded, and in these kind of conditions it's where there's very high up, very heavy, these kind of cars are in their element. Basically, you know you're gonna be fine, and it's gonna cope and handle with these kind of conditions perfectly fine. So yeah, probably the best day to take this car out on the road. But otherwise, in terms of how this car is, like the Range Rover I tested before, how would I compare this? This is basically like when you start investing in yourself. And what I mean by that, for those of you that don't know, I'm actually like in my 40s now. I'm in my 40s, and in life you will come to an age or point in your life where you will start to make investments in yourself, and things such as a very nice, comfortable, expensive mattress. And the day you do that in your life and you go to bed for the first time in this very nice, expensive mattress, you're going to have the best sleeps in your life. And you're at this point in your life where sleep is very important. I'm going to tell you. You're going to reach a point in your life where you're like, I'm going to invest in my sleep. I'm going to buy a very important, I'm going to make a very important life decision. I'm going to spend lots of money on a very fine, comfortable mattress, and it's going to be the best life choice you're ever going to make. And I feel like the Range Rover is basically like your fine mattress. Sorry for the lighting, just going through a tunnel. It's not the best day to do a recording, but yeah, it's dark now and I'm probably look horrible in the video right now, and then now just out of the tunnel. But yeah, investing in a mattress is like it's basically like buying a Range Rover. Why? Because every single time, no matter what Range Rover I'm jumping in, whether it's new, old, you jump in and you're just comfortable, you're cozy. I'm just like, I'm chilling, this is comfortable, I'm happy to be in here. I'm in my fine mattress that I'm so cozy and comfortable in. This is like the most comfortable driving experience. I can't fault Land Rover for this, for making such a comfortable interior. As soon as you jump into this car, you're like, yep, I'm chilling, I'm cool, I'm comfortable. Be a horrible driver if you want, jump in front of me, I don't care, I'm comfortable. I'm chilling. You know what I mean? But yeah, honestly, can't fault Land Rover for making such a comfortable, chill interior. But apart from that, I mean, if you put a blindfold on me right now, well, I wouldn't do a test drive with a blindfold, but hypothetically speaking, or yeah, if I was to be blindfolded, if I was to be blindfolded and I was told to do a test drive in the previous one that I already did a video on, and this one, and you know, just from the feel of being inside, I honestly wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Like, okay, cool, visually it's had a bit of a facelift. Internally it looks nice, it looks posh. All these, you know, the panels are still very fancy and luxury, the nice padded leather interior. Otherwise, you know, in terms of how it feels, the driving position, how comfortable it feels inside, if I was blindfolded, I honestly wouldn't be able to tell the difference at all. And in terms of like performance, okay, cool, the previous one is about what, 240ish, and this particular model, diesel model, is like just over 300. I think it's like 306, I'm gonna say 306 bhp. But yeah, it's a bit of a difference in terms of horsepower, but unless I'm taking out on like the motorway, putting my foot down, you're not gonna feel that huge difference. Most of the driving I do is like on small UK roads, and yeah, the horsepower difference, I personally don't think it's made a huge difference. Okay, it's got a little bit more of a pull. Otherwise, yeah, it feels like a Range Rover. It feels like a Range Rover. It's like okay, cool. I've driven the Mark 5 Golf. I've driven the Mark 6 Golf. Cool. It still feels like a Golf. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I said, visually it looks nice. Lots of like storage compartments. I don't need to go through all of these little interior bits, but yeah, can't fault them. It's a nice interior, drives and handles still like a Range Rover. What else could I say? And like, you know, driving position's good. You're in like a big tall car. You're gonna have visually it's good. You see so much better, in terms of the road, and in these weather conditions, it's probably what you need anyways. And like I said, it's like any part of the UK now. It feels like a little bit of rain and everywhere's flooded now, and you feel a bit more confident going into those massive puddles that's always flooded on the roads nowadays with a car so high up. And then, like typical fashion, like people driving these cars usually just don't care anyways. They just jump into the massive puddles and then just splash everyone on the road. I'm not saying all SUV drivers are like that, but typically most of the ones I see, they're just so confident with like floods, and they just go through, and then a massive tsunami goes over every other car surrounding them basically. But yeah, drives like a Range Rover. What more can I say? Bit of a drive around the vehicle. Yeah, like what more can I say? To be fair, like it drives like a Range Rover, like the last one I've driven, but just a maybe tiny bit faster. But yeah, so at this point, I think let's go over a few of the bad things about owning one in this day and age. Well, I touched on a bit of it, but that only affects some of us in the UK. What do I mean? Like what I touched on early on is basically like if you live within the Mayor of London's little circle, then that's something else you have to worry about, whether you have a ULEZ compliant vehicle or not. Luckily this one is, but it does come at a little bit more of a premium. And the other things you have to worry about is theft, sadly. Theft has been a huge problem for a lot of Land Rover, Range Rover vehicle owners. So an article I had a look at, or had a browse of, from What Car? So in 2023, amongst the top 10, 3 of the vehicles on that list were all Range Rovers, and the other one was a Discovery. So yeah, that's a bit scary and shocking, but they are desirable vehicles. They do look good, and they're comfortable, and I guess they do have a certain status about them, which does then, I think, result in them being part of a top list of cars that are most common to be stolen. But yeah, because of what? Because what was I going to say? But yeah, it's mainly because, like, the one of the most common things amongst these, like, top 10 or most common thing amongst the cars that are stolen the most is because they're all keyless entry. And the thieves nowadays, they have the technology to kind of relay the signal from your key to then gain access to your vehicle, sadly. And then that results in a lot of these keyless cars being stolen. And as a result, because a lot of these vehicles are being stolen, it also results in insurance being insane. Like, so when the owner of this vehicle had to renew his insurance, it was a bit of a struggle trying to looking around to find insurance companies that would either insure a vehicle like this or be able to insure it at a somewhat reasonable price. Even like the price they insured this at is still quite ridiculous at the moment, to be fair, compared to what they used to pay in 2021 basically for the other one. But yeah, it's another thing you have to worry about in terms of owning a Range Rover nowadays is not only theft, but car insurance being very expensive. But apparently there is a solution. Apparently Jaguar Land Rover Group, they have a solution. Apparently I think they've started their own insurance policy for these particular vehicles, and I don't know, I haven't done a quote, to be fair, but if any one of you Range Rover owners out there have like decided to switch over to their insurance policy, is it much better than other insurers? Let me know. Yeah, it'll be interesting, because I haven't actually done a quote yet to find out how much better these their quotes are compared to others. But yeah, that is apparently a solution, but I don't have the actual figures or differences for that. But yeah, those would be like, for me, the key things to think about when looking at a vehicle like this, if you're planning to even get one in this day and age, because yeah, the running cost of a vehicle like this is quite high, because if you live in the Mayor of London's, within that little circle, if you have to travel within his little circle, then you have to worry about buying a particular version that, or owning a version that is compliant to his emissions regulations. And I have to worry about car theft and insurance being ridiculous. So not only do you have to pay like roughly a £4,000 premium to own one that's ULEZ compliant, but also have to worry about if you can even insure a vehicle like this. But you may have a solution, like I said early on, the solution being potentially the JLR Group insurance policies that they have for these vehicles now. Still, I'm very curious, like how much different their insurance quotes will be for these vehicles. But yeah, unless you do live in a area that doesn't have a ULEZ zone to worry about, where your area has better, much safer in terms of car theft. I don't know, maybe for example, like an area like Cornwall. How much is the ownership cost of a Range Rover, diesel Range Rover within Cornwall, for example? Has your insurance gone up much over the last few years? Has it gone up at all? Or are you looking at the same kind of figures that people that live within the M25 in terms of insurance? Who knows? I don't know. Let me know, please. If someone from like within these outside areas of the outside of London, basically, or anywhere that has a ULEZ zone, what are your costs looking like for running a vehicle like this? Be interesting to know. But yeah, what was I going to say? But yeah, so apart from things like that to worry about, you have like also reliability issues with these vehicles, or you see a lot online about similar problems that you have with this newer model compared to the previous model that I had to look at as well. Still with this model, some of them you have inlet manifold issues as well, which we saw in the 2011 model that I did a video on. Still, that had that particular problem, and the new generation had that problem as well. So a few things to worry about. But yeah, can't really own like nice stuff nowadays, because you have to worry about theft and all this other business. But car theft isn't only isolated to this particular brand of vehicle, because like the article I saw, amongst the top 10 of the most stolen cars in the UK in 2023, only 3 of the vehicles were from this group, basically. But they all have the same thing in common. It's keyless entry. I mean, as cool as it is to get in and out of your car without having to press your key or put your key into the car, it causes other problems. You do have things to deter it, like you have to buy and fit other things into your car to protect it, but it's another cost. But yeah, anyways, I think that's it from me this week. I don't think I have anything else to add, but hope you enjoyed today's video and my another little insight into this very popular vehicle. But yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next week, or will I have a video next week? Who knows? But anyways, thanks for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying the video and content I'm putting out there. Sorry it's not as consistent as it used to be, but I'll try. I'll try. I mean, car season's coming upon us soon. Weather's starting to kind of improve. Well, not really in today's video. It was raining and it looks like it's about to rain again. But I'll see you next time, whenever that is. Take care. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, everything. Love you all. Take care. See you all next time. Bye bye.